Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's BB Can 10 chat. These dogs are licking. I feel like the licks are extra loud tonight.
I got my ass-kicking glasses on, so it's episode 16. Oh, hi!
I gotta say, this episode delivered.
It was pretty good.
We've had a lot of great episodes lately, so let's keep that up.
This has been a real kick-ass season, let's just say that, for one or more reasons. Last time we saw the double eviction fallout. Thank you, BB Can.
Yep.
We needed to see that.
We saw Marty winning HOH.
But no noms yet. They left us on a cliffhanger, just table banging, and not even the good kind.
I can't get over that table hitting, that's a lot. It's a lot.
I want my Wendy's.
And everyone was like, oh my god, Kevin and Marty are in there. What's going on up there?
Marty was yelling like a freak. Like a freak.
Yeah, it was a lot.
In a French accent, freak.
It kind of reminded me of Cruella de Vil in the live-action 101 Dalmatians, where she's like, take the drawing and hand it to Anita. Is that difficult?
It sounded like he was beating Kevin to death up there, but he was just hitting the table.
I couldn't get over how he yelled at Kevin, too.
Sorry, I'm like this right now.
And Kevin was just like...
Kevin was just like...
Yeah, what is happening right now?
Alright, so Josh is talking to Marty, and Josh says, hey, you can trust me.
Honestly, I forgot that this was all before nominations, and that last episode was a cliffhanger, because I was like, wait, what? But yeah, this is all still before nominations.
And Marty's like, can I really trust you?
Marty has it in his head that Josh and Betty set a trap for him.
You tried to trap me.
All the while,
I wish I could trust you 100%.
Yeah, Kevin is getting away with this with Marty, when Kevin was like one of the main organizers of the potential flip on Gino. But okay, so yeah, Josh was like, I would never do this to you. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You can trust me.
Then Betty has her chance to talk to Marty.
She's like, ugh, I don't even want to talk to Marty.
Yeah, she has to talk to him. And she's like, I'm not out to get you. I respect you. Bye.
Right.
I freaking love Betty's attitude.
Betty is wonderful.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Marty is kissing Gino and Jesselin's ass big time. He may kiss ass big time.
Yeah, this was a real roller coaster leading up to these nominations.
Mm-hmm. I do what you want. I make this up to you. I let you choose who I put up, and I'll put up who I want.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna do what I want anyway, but I'm gonna act like I'm doing what you want.
So Gino said, hey, put up Moose and Josh.
And Marty was like, does it have to be them?
But I told Moose he was gonna be safe. I told him to put up your feet.
Anytime Marty tells somebody to kick up their feet, that person needs to start planning to try and get some votes. Because it's not a good sign.
All right. Well, I'll do it anyway. Not. All right, so Marty and Moose have a chat, and he says, yeah, would you be okay with going up as a pawn?
No.
Why not?
Who would I be going up next to?
Josh.
Moose is not happy with this.
No, he wants to go up against Betty.
Marty is trying to say, I can't put Betty up on the block right now because she's not a strong competitor. I need to make sure that Josh is not going to win this power veto.
Marty, what if Betty wins the POV? What are we going to do?
Yeah.
You dummy.
Marty's like, you
bet you didn't think about that, did you?
No, he did not. And he was like, well, that's why you have to win it.
Yeah, great. So it's time for the noms, finally.
Okay.
And Marty puts up Josh and Betty.
Ooh, and then he makes some ridiculous nomination speech.
I was in a tight spot. They tried to trick me to evict Gino.
You set a trap, and Marty just walked right into it.
These noms are going to make it better.
I'm sorry, but when somebody's referring to themselves in the third person, not a good sign.
Old Marty.
Then he went on this rant about how he's heard people dropping his name as a backdoor target, and how
he's
he's like, if anybody has to backdoor a 43-year-old with bad knees and a bad shoulder, then you don't deserve to win Big Brother Canada.
Why?
Dude, do not be pulling the age card right now. What? No.
So Betty is just like, excuse me, Marty, you need to freaking take accountability for your actions. Nobody took your hand and made you vote a certain certain way. Nobody
No.
forced you to do anything.
I'm glad she called him out.
All on your own. And he was like, no. And then Josh chimes in, do unto others, Marty, as you would have them do to you.
Yeah, you say, like, no one's allowed to backdoor me when
You're
Marty has tried to get many people backdoored. Like, what? Yeah. Ridiculous.
All right, so Betty says Marty's entire speech was a waste of time, and I agree.
I mean, it was good for a few laughs, right?
Were there a few laughs?
I was like...
I was disgusted. I wasn't laughing. I was just completely disgusted.
Yeah. Marty is just a broken record at this point, rambling on about how they set a trap for him, he walked into it, but it's like their fault, blah, blah, blah.
I hope everybody, when Marty is evicted, and I know he will be evicted, there's no freaking way that he's winning BB Can 10. No freaking way. I will go on record and say this now. You could pull this receipts up later. He's not winning. He's not winning.
Well, I hope you're right.
And Marty, you are a dumb.
Well,
dumb.
Wait for this. So Summer goes in to try and, like, comfort Marty and just make sure he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Marty's like, oh, I'm not going out there because I don't want any drama.
I'm hiding out in my room.
Yeah, I don't want Betty to, like, come at me.
Betty's not coming at you.
Then Marty decides to start his own drama. So he tells Summer, I know for a fact that you suggested me as a backdoor option when you had... Wendy's with Jess. Yeah. So Summer was like, no.
No,
I did not. I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
incorrect.
Jess must have been lying.
Yeah. No, I trust Jess more than I trust you.
And Summer was still like, no, I didn't say that.
What does BB Can 10 do?
Well, first they showed us...
They pull up the receipt.
Yeah. First they showed us Jess... telling the story to Marty, like, Summer was throwing you under the bus, like, the whole time. I had to dip a fry into a freaking Frosty and then give it to Summer just to change the topic.
Come on. How dare you?
So that one detail was correct. Jess did dip a fry into a Frosty and give it to Summer, which is a delicious combination.
Yes.
Nobody's denying that.
But the way they said it was like she was a little dog and she had to distract her.
Or like a child.
Not how it happened.
But also... they pulled up the receipts of the Wendy's date, and Summer did not throw Marty under the bus or suggest him as a backdoor. Did she say, yes, eventually Marty would have to be backdoored because he's too much of a threat to just put right up on the block? Yes, but that's not the same thing, not even remotely. So it was a lie. Summer was telling the truth.
She got caught in a lie.
I'm glad we got those receipts, BB Can. Thank you.
Thank you, BB Can.
So it gets a little heated, and Marty...
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah, Marty throws a hissy fit and tells Summer to leave the HOH room.
She was thrown out of the HOH room.
Ridiculous.
By Marty.
Ridiculous.
And then Marty goes on this freaking fantasy rant about all kinds of stuff that he's imagining is happening in the game. Everyone's out to
Did you
get
just go backwards?
No.
Okay. Well, when Summer leaves the HOH room... she's not happy.
No.
Particularly with Jess, who's, like, not even in the house anymore. That's the other thing. Marty's bringing up this information that Summer can't even...
I did go backwards.
Talk to anyone about... Yeah, it's all the same. Summer can't ask Jess what was going on here because Jess is not in the house anymore.
They're gone.
Yeah.
I loved Summer's rant of, you're a dumbass man, you're so dumb. I agree. Agree.
All right, so then it was time for the Power Veto competition.
They didn't even show the player picks, but...
This is a jam-packed episode.
The extra players were Summer, Gino, and Kevin. Wow. Good picks, right?
Good lineup. And then, of course, Betty and Josh were also playing as the two nominees. So the nominees.
We'll get there. It's an old head-to-head party games game.
This was a fun competition. I like this.
Yeah, it was, it's like when you get Mario Party and there's games within the
mini
game.
games?
Yeah.
So, Moose, the host, was introducing all these different games to the house guests, and after they heard the explanation for a game, they had to vote on who they wanted to see take part in this game. Rather
than seeing, like, somebody say, all right, I won this round, so now I'm going to pick this person. It was much nicer to have the general consensus, at least pick one, and then have that person pick somebody else.
Right.
So the first little competition was Skee-Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
This vote was actually a tie between
Right.
Betty and Kevin, so they were both selected
in
to
it.
play.
And Kevin won. Kevin pulled out the W. He
So
knows
Betty-
his Skee-Ball.
Yeah, Betty's like, oh great, now I got no chance.
Kevin is spending way too much time at Dave & Buster's.
There's nothing wrong with that, okay?
All right.
I happen to love Skee-Ball.
Well, the second one was block stacking. They tried to squeeze so many different competitions into this one mini game. Block stacking, shaky table, figure out the puzzle so none of the colors are like repeating.
Yeah.
And
They couldn't be like touching each other.
right.
This was fun, and it was...
Gino, he was picked, but he also chose Josh to go head to head against.
Yeah.
And Gino almost had it right away, but he like dumped it. And then Josh dumped the full puzzle. I mean, he was like this close.
Yeah.
And then Gino ended up winning.
All right, so Josh was eliminated. So the first 2 rounds, both nominees were eliminated.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Wow, so this is probably like a first that one of the nominees will not
It's
be
a first
winning the
this
POV.
season, yeah.
So then the next one was the old balance beam, but then they also tried to cram in, get the ball in the tiny little divot on the balance beam so that it stays in there, and it's a teeter-totter balance beam. Whoa! Crazy.
Yes.
So Summer was picked for this one, and she chose Gino to go head to head against, which was a great choice, I
Well,
thought.
some of the audience was not too happy about it. They were like, why would she pick Gino? Her mom was like, what?
Yeah. So Gino,
He had the right strategy of starting at the farther end and then working his way
see,
back.
that's not what I would have done, but
I think that makes the most sense, because then you don't risk, like, disrupting those ones at the end by, like, having to walk past them over and over.
All right. Well, he ended up getting pretty far, but then he dumped
There were
it.
some dumps in there.
And Summer was having a rough time, and she just said, "Oh, F it. I'm just going to throw this. Who cares? Who cares?" So even though I might go up on the block, I don't care.
She throws a lot of competitions.
Why not?
Some of her allies don't appreciate that.
All right. Well, Gino won.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise.
So that means it comes down to Gino and Kevin in the final round.
All right. This one was chock freaking full.
It was.
Marty bang. All right. So it was a 3D word search, which you had to put together as a puzzle first.
Yeah.
Then you had to go around with a piece of chalk and find the house guests' names in the puzzle. And then whatever letters intersected, you had to collect the tiles. And you had to spell out a mystery word.
A mystery Big Brother related word.
Oh.
And then spell it.
See it,
You
say
had
it,
to
spell it.
correctly. So
Yes, you had to spell it correctly.
So
Not incorrectly.
okay. I thought for sure this was going to be a runaway for Kevin. No offense to Gino. But I thought that this would be a strong suit for Kevin. Turns out, Gino finishes his puzzle first, finishes the word search first, and he's working on that word scramble.
And he says, "Hey, I got it."
And let me just say, I was, like, really confused at first because I already knew who won this veto. So I was like, wait, Gino's already done? Like, what happened here?
How did this happen?
So then, okay, the secret word was nominees.
The password is...
And then they reveal Gino's guess. Nominees? What? Oh.
Maybe he spelled it with a French accent. He was so used to talk. It's Marty's fault.
Do you know how to say nominees in French?
Nominees. I don't know. No, I don't. That was not in my 5 years of French.
So he spelled it incorrectly, and
I say it's nominees.
that gave Kevin enough time to finish his guess, which was spelled correctly. So Kevin won the power of veto. Whoa! All right.
And when the shame when they turned around the thing and revealed that
Everybody
it said
saw
no
what
menus.
Gino put. It's a real Technotronics.
Yeah. Good for
Yikes.
Kevin. He won.
Yeah, so knowing that Kevin won, though, Betty and Josh are upset because
They cry laughing.
yeah, they're not really sure that veto is going to get used. You know, they were really hoping one of them would win so they could save themselves, and they're just, like,
And
upset.
even if it does get used, I mean...
They're not sure who's going up next to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they have grown very close the last week or so, so they were upset
Yeah.
at the outcome.
Well, Marty and Helena... Well, Helena goes up to the HOA. She's like, can I take a shower? Oh, yes, take a shower. All right, so then they start celebrating. Ooh, Kevin won the POV. Mm-hmm. Marty, you should put up Herman. What?
Marty is against this.
Is he?
At the time, yes. Marty was like, this is great. I'm going to get Betty out of here. Like, nominations
Betty
are
hates
going to stay
my
the same. But
let's see what Kevin wants to do.
Well, Helena and Kevin, their goal this week is to get Herman out of here. So they've been pushing for this. The opportunity has arisen here. Mm-hmm. They just need to get Marty on board. So Kevin has his chat with Marty, and Marty's like, oh, I can't go for Herman. I can't do it.
It would be the third time he screwed Gino over if he would have put up Herman.
Because, I mean, that's not what Gino asked for, right?
But,
so, yeah.
Kevin...
You want to know what I think,
Marty? Yeah.
I mean, it's so easy, right?
Yeah,
Kevin knows what he's doing.
Kevin is the shining bright light of this season.
I've had a lot of fun watching his game so far.
Mm-hmm. I thought Kevin was going to be a real wet blanket, but he's not.
He really is as charismatic as he was advertising.
Good for him. Finally, we get what we paid for.
Nice.
All right, so...
He's telling Marty,
yes.
I think this could be your $100,000 move.
I think if you put up Herman, you could win $100,000. And Marty went, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah. So, Marty decides, I'm going to bring this to Gino. So, there's another layer here. Because Marty started this out by saying, all right, I'm going to present it to Gino that maybe I want to backdoor Herman now. Mm-hmm. And this is a test for Gino.
Right.
If he
agrees,
then okay, he's with us, he's good. Mm-hmm. If he pushes back against it, that means he's more loyal to Herman.
He's a snake.
I can't have that.
Right. So Marty tells Gino, I want to put up Herman, and Gino says, I think it's a good move. Not really meaning that it is, but he's afraid for his own ass because Marty has screwed him 3 times now.
Unpredictable.
And he thinks, well, if I don't agree with him, maybe
I'm going to go up on the block. So, it's kind of the same thing that happened with Kyle. Gino just, went along with the madness, and then when Gino won HOH the next week, he took Kyle out. So, I could see the exact same thing happening with Gino here.
Yeah.
I mean, with Marty.
So Marty says, I'm not just going to put him up on the block. I'm going to blindside him because I'm a real shit.
I thought this was just a test. What?
All right. So Marty talks to Herman and does not tell Herman that he is going up on the block. He tells Herman that if the veto's used, he's going to put Summer up.
But he's also acting like the veto is not going to be used by Kevin.
Right. When
he
knows
on the off chance
damn well that
Kevin
it is.
uses it, then Summer would go up.
And Herman is thrilled. Herman goes and does
doing
one
of
of
his
Herman
camera talks.
Yeah. And he thinks he could win this whole game. He thinks he could win it. Because he's going to, even though he made a deal with Marty, if he's, he's going to go after him next week. Because he doesn't care. Oh, no. So they left us with another cliffhanger. And I have to say, I'm living for it.
Yeah, these episodes have been delivering. I
want
to explain too, just real quick, going back, because I don't think we touched on this.
Okay.
So the whole, pre-nominations thing, when Marty was telling Moose, I'm going to use you as a pawn, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the drama did not stop there. Obviously, you see that Betty went up on the block with Josh. Mm-hmm. So they had this HOH lockdown. It was the one where Marty was like, I'm just letting everybody know. I was one of the votes for Gino, and I got trapped. Some of you will pay at nominations. That one, Betty was not present for that.
Right. Betty was in the diary room.
Marty decided to put Betty up next to Josh, partially, a lot, because he's afraid that Betty has a secret
power. Yeah.
And that's why she wasn't in the HOH room for the lockdown.
Fantasyland.
I just wanted to make that clear. I know we touched on it a little bit on Monday, but I just wanted to mention that again.
Ooh la la. Marty.
Yeah. So anyway, tomorrow should be a big night.
So I just have one question.
Okay.
So far, this season, which was the most surprising HOH?
I mean, there have been a lot of train wrecks so far this season.
Are you still going to stick with Kyle?
For most surprising, I would say either Kyle or I would say Gino, because I didn't think that he would strike at a bro like that so early on. But he did. So, you know, this HOH was not as surprising to me because we've already seen what a mess Marty is. So, like, we knew this was coming. We knew it was going to be
I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
We knew it was going to be a wild ride.
I didn't think it was going to be this bad. His first one wasn't this bad.
Yeah. Well, that's where we're at. So, leave your thoughts in the comments on this episode, and thank you all so much for watching.
And come back tomorrow for the live...
Oh, the spoiler. Yeah, that will be live.
Oh, you forgot about that?
No.
All right. Till tomorrow.
Much love.